Good morning, everyone. Late morning. Welcome to the WIFR Fastcast on this Friday. We've reached Friday, but it is a frigid Friday. That's
Yeah,
why
that it
DJ's
is.
here right off the bat, and the wind chills this morning made it feel close to 40 below,
Yeah.
would you believe? And there's no relief in sight. So, DJ, why don't you take it away? Let's see if there's any improvements for our weekend.
It kind of depends on what you mean by improvement. Is it going to be as brutally cold? No, but is it still going to be tough to be outside? Well, I hate to say it, but sadly, that is going to be a yes. So let's go ahead and go over to our weather graphics here. And with it, well, you can kind of see winds have been on the strong side here pretty much throughout the entire morning, with winds sustained out of the northwest about 10 to 15 miles per hour right now. That has brought our wind chills down and temperatures down quite a bit, as we're seeing a temperature change compared to yesterday morning at nearly 30 degrees across the state line. So just over 24 hours, a 30-degree temperature difference has been felt, as we're now sitting close to negative 10 to negative 15 degrees across the state line. Wind chills have come up a little bit compared to this morning, but still not too fun to be outdoors, as we're sitting at negative 33 degrees in Rockford, negative 31 in Galena. Sterling Rock Falls, not as bad, but still negative 25. No, thank you. So with this in mind, frostbite still going to be a major concern through the rest of the afternoon into the evening. At a wind chill near negative 30, frostbite can develop on any exposed skin in as few as 20 minutes. So you want to make sure as you head out the door, you really want to make sure that you are dressing in multiple layers: gloves, hat, mittens, scarves, earmuffs, pretty much any piece of clothing that you can wear. Well, for that is going to allow you to stay on the warm side and keep you from getting that frostbite to develop. And of course, since we've been on the so cold side, an extreme cold warning has been issued across the region. That has been in effect pretty much the entire morning, but luckily we have about 56 minutes left on it, as it is set to expire at noon here for us today. But taking a look at the broader picture across the United States, a polar vortex has really made a massive difference when it comes to our weather here across the U.S., as a lot of the portions down to our south are currently underneath a winter storm warning, as we could see areas like St. Louis, southern portions of Illinois, basically the entire state of Kentucky get close to maybe 6 feet or 6 inches to a foot of snow. If not, some locations may be getting even more. But for us here across the region, wind chills still expected to be close to 25 to 30 degrees below zero through the remainder of the afternoon into the evening. We could see some relief as we get into our Saturday afternoon, as winds are expected to become somewhat calm. So that is a little bit of good news, but just as quick as that wind went away, well, it is set to return in front of our next potential winter weather system. So by Saturday night, looking at wind chills close to 5 to 10 below, and by the time we get towards Sunday morning, likely back toward near 10 to 15 degrees below zero. Now, with that in mind, again, some cold safety tips: stay indoors if at all possible, because indoors it's away from wind and it's warmer compared to our outside air. And if you have to go outside, make sure you are dressing appropriately. And if you have to drive, pack an emergency kit that includes extra clothes, dry clothing, hand warmers, maybe some water, some food just in case you get stranded, and of course a blanket. And of course, your pets, well, bring them inside, because it is dangerously cold out there for our furry little friends. So that is one way to protect them. But I want to take a moment to talk about what we could see potentially for our Saturday night into Sunday, as models have continued to move it a little bit more north and north day by day. Over the past 24 hours, it has stayed somewhat consistent with snow forming just to our south. And with that in mind, well, maybe some of our southern counties could potentially get a little bit of snowfall overnight Saturday into our early stages of Sunday. But with it, again, the heaviest snow will stay just to our south and southeast. At least that is what has been the trend here over the past 2 days. So it's definitely something we will be keeping a very close eye on. But in the meantime, download our WIFR First Alert Weather app, where we will keep you informed if anything changes when it comes to our forecast. Of course, the cold is here pretty much through the remainder of the day into the weekend. And Mike, I know a lot of us really aren't looking forward to being outside, even though sunshine has finally returned, and it feels like it's been a while since we've had sunshine. And of course, the one time we do, it's way too cold to be out there.
Yeah, speaking of way too cold, I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, all
Do you
good.
know the last time we were this cold with wind chills?
Yes, wind chills, not necessarily, but the last time we hit
temperatures?
negative 15 degrees came in July 15th of 2024. So it's
think
been
you mean
around
January, right?
January, yes,
Okay,
January.
wow.
Yeah,
That would
it's
be a
been
story.
it's been around 2 years, but looking back at 2019, we had the coldest day in Rockford on record, where we were at negative 31 degrees back in January of 2019. So while we're not too far off from our record low, Well, it's still very cold, but not as cold as that January day.
I am absolutely fine with not breaking that record.
I'm with you there.
All right, DJ. Thanks a lot, and keep us posted throughout the day.
That we will.
Of course, we'll do that streaming, and we'll do it through later newscasts as well. All right. We do want to mention that there are several buildings across the state line opening its doors Friday to combat the cold. In fact, in Winnebago County, Rockford Rescue Mission, City of Rockford, and Health and Human Services, they are also with the Loves Park City Hall. All of them are opening their doors. The Loves Park City Hall, it will be at the gymnasium there. Also, Boone's Ida Public Library, that's right downtown in Belvedere in Boone County. There's also the Belvedere State Salvation Army open. In Stevenson County, Freeport's Public Library, the Farm Bureau, and Lincoln Mall. All great options if you're trying to find someplace to get warm. We have a full list of warming centers, and that is at WIFR.com. Several schools across the state line closed or switched to online learning Friday due to the frigid temperatures, including Rockford Public Schools, Belvedere, Freeport School District, 145, and the Harlem Schools. So you're talking about four of the biggest school districts we have. Pecatonica, Prairie Hill Schools also, and then Rockford University held classes online. Some other schools, as you have seen, by watching and checking the bottom of your screen and going to our weather app, you have noticed they have done remote learning as well. Basketball canceled or postponed for Rockford University as well. We have a full list of the schools closing or doing the remote learning at WIFR.com. And if you end up stuck on the road, we can tell you that during these dangerous temperatures, the Illinois Tollway is around the clock checking on you. They will have weather road patrols out there to help. Crews will help vehicles with flat tires needing help with dead batteries, overheated radiators, or empty fuel tanks. Crews will also take motorists to nearby garages, toll plazas, or oasis. Call 999 if you need some assistance. In other news, Rockford police look into a shooting Friday morning that seriously hurt a man. We have a map for you here to kind of show you where it took place. Rockford police say on social media the shooting happened around 2:30 in the 5800 block of Columbia Parkway. Investigators shut the area down for several hours, and the man was taken to a nearby hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. So far, no suspects have been named. The city of Rockford condemned Windsor Apartments on North Main Street Tuesday, the 110-year-old building. As we take a look at that, we're getting there. Oh, no. Let's see. We're trying to find it here. As we take Windsor. There we go. Sorry about that. We do want to mention, though, that a big story here that Nathaniel Langley has been working on for quite some time with the Windsor Apartments. In fact, the city of Rockford condemned Windsor Apartments on North Main Street Tuesday. The 110-year-old building is 11 apartments inside, but all have been condemned by the city. The reason for the shutdown is because the building has no central heating. One resident says it's been months without consistent warmth. Another tenant at Versailles Apartments, which has the same owner as Windsor, worries that the building could be next. WIFR's Nathaniel Langley speaks to renters concerned about the poor conditions that could leave them homeless. All right. And again, that's Nathaniel reporting here. Imagine your car sitting in the shop for months, all because. How to get there? Why can't we get there? All right. Imagine your car sitting in the shop for months, all because a part is on back order. One Pennsylvania driver says that's exactly what happened to him, and it left him scrambling to get around. Consumer investigator Carice Jackman explains what experts say you should do if you're stuck waiting on repairs.
For Pennsylvania resident Ed Perry, having a car is a necessity to get around his town. So when his Chevy Volt started having problems in December 2024, he says he immediately took it in for repairs.
They told me that one of the main cells in the battery pack was damaged. And they said, well, we might not get the part until the end of January.
But Perry says the date kept getting pushed back.
I kept going back, and it became the end of January, then the middle of February, then the end of February, then the middle of March, and finally the end of April.
And he says even after that, his car still wasn't ready. So Perry says he wrote letters to Chevrolet looking for answers.
And I did not get any response to that, except I had somebody from the executive office call me and said, we have no idea of the ETA on getting that part to you.
He says the wait dragged on for months to the point his warranty was ticking down. He ended up buying another car just to get around.
That car has sit at Stocker Chevrolet from December 30th until close to the end of November, almost a whole year.
After that, Perry says he turned to Lemon Law attorneys and filed a complaint. Lemon Law attorney Robert Silverman says parts delays like this are not unusual, and your options can depend on your state, your warranty, and how long the vehicle has been out of service. He says start by asking for a clear timeline and get a repair order that documents your complaint and that the part is on order. If you're going to be without your vehicle for a while, ask for a loaner. And if the delay drags on or the same problem keeps coming back, he says do not wait too long to get help because some claims have deadlines.
You're going to wait, lose your legal rights. Instead of waiting, get compensation in case it fails again so you can trade it in with their money.
Perry says his case was settled and he eventually got his car back repaired. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Carice Jackman.
And we reached out to General Motors for comment. They told us that any customer requiring assistance can reach out to GM Customer Care on their website. Attorneys say even if a situation does not fit your state's lemon law, consumers may still have warranty options, including potential rights under the federal Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act, depending on the facts of the case. Well, as part of our We the People series at WIFR, we look at a Texas middle school principal who changed the lives of students. Now he faces a different challenge. Isabella Quintana has more.
Children, students, they're the future of America, and so wanting to pour into them and to provide the best educational opportunities for all students is a passion of mine.
Back in 2013, Bradford McMillan began his career in education right here in Central Texas.
I started in Killeen ISD as a middle school teacher. I then transitioned to high school, did some work up there, transitioned into being an assistant principal.
While he was still teaching, McMillan decided to do something out of the ordinary.
In about 2017, that's when I entered into the military. I took a roundabout route to get into the position that I was, being in my mid-30s, going through basic training.
But it was something he wanted to do, having grown up watching his father serve as a chaplain in the military.
Hearing stories of my father as an individual that always looked after soldiers, I felt a call to serve in the military in that capacity.
Going through military training while also still pursuing his passion in education. 4 years ago, he moved to Waco ISD to be the new principal for Tennyson Middle School.
It really is a diamond in the rough. There's so much potential from our students here at Waco ISD, especially those at our school.
Assistant and now interim principal Bradley Knox says even while being in the military, working toward becoming a chaplain, McMillan always gave Tennyson his all.
He's able to balance all those things to care for us as a staff and students, families, parents that we serve, but then also all of his troops that he's assigned to.
Forming a lot of meaningful relationships with both staff and students over the years.
He's really cool. I like how he interacts with us on a daily.
At the groundbreaking ceremony when I had made my speech, after I made my speech and walked off, he just said that I spoke better than him, and I don't know why I just carried that for a long time.
A couple years ago, McMillan received an amazing opportunity.
Through divine providence, I would say, I was able to get into the chaplain candidate program with the Texas Army National Guard, and I was doing that for multiple years until I I got licensed and ordained.
Shortly after ascending to a captain and then assigned to a unit, one already scheduled to be deployed.
I think like everyone, it's kind of like a shock because, you know, I'll be gone for an entire year.
Soon leaving the U.S. to go all the way to Kuwait, news some of his students say they were also shocked to hear.
When I found out, I was like, what?
I mean, I knew that he was in the military already, but I didn't expect for him to get deployed all the way to another country, like across the world.
Sadly, this means McMillan must step down as the principal of Tennyson Middle School.
I'm actually really excited to serve the nation in this capacity, but also, you know, it's bittersweet leaving Tennyson Middle School.
His students sharing that while they're excited for him, they'll all miss having him as their principal, even expressing their worry for him.
It's pretty cool to kind of brag about it, but then
It's also like you worry about their safety.
Good luck to whatever you do, and we hope that you stay safe.
McMillan will be passing the torch to Knox, who says he's ready after having 3 years under him, learning valuable lessons along the way.
He is day in and day out just a selfless, caring person. And so that example for me just helps me just to continue our mission together.
After he returns, McMillan's hope is to continue working for Waco ISD, but he says whatever happens, he's thankful for his time at Tennyson.
This is my first principalship, and so I am eternally grateful for this opportunity just to share my knowledge and help grow Tennyson Middle School to the next level.
Reporting in Waco, Isabella Quintanilla, KWTX News 10.
What a relatable leader indeed. Well, some of these stories and more will be coming up in our shows this afternoon and evening at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Make sure to download our WIFR app on your TV at home. We're available, of course, on Amazon TV, Roku TV, and Apple TV. Thank you so much for watching. More news.